Love will make you do some crazy things, and in my experience, it was getting married at the age of 24, which, in my opinion, is way too young to get married. And after about 5 years into the relationship, things started to unravel, and it all came to a head one night. We got in a huge fight. I slammed some doors, some insults were hurled, and to my surprise, my wife wanted to leave me. So before we went full-on divorce, we decided, let's just try separation, see how that fits. And I decided to move out of the house and move in with a friend of mine down the street. Now, my friend had also just bought a house because this was about 7 to 8 years ago, and in Nashville, where you could actually afford to buy your own home. And he was in the process of gutting it, so the entire ground floor was bare. He was knocking down all the walls, but he did have an attic that I could stay in. But this attic had no furniture, no bed, no kitchen, no TV, no internet. Can you believe it? So when I move in, I bring all my bare essentials. I bring a suitcase full of clothes, bring an air mattress, I bring peanut butter and jelly for sandwiches, and a healthy supply of whiskey and Diet Coke. So the first few nights in this attic are awesome because there's no one else in the house. I feel like I'm on vacation. I can walk around naked, I can say what I want, I can do what I want, I can stay up late. But about that third night in, I start to get really lonely. And that loneliness mixed with the depression of going through a breakup combined for a very lethal combination. So one night, I decide I'm gonna drink, and I'm gonna drink hard. My whiskey of choice at this moment in life is Evan Williams, because it was cheap and I didn't know any better. And because this place had no kitchen, that meant there was no refrigerator, which meant there was no ice. So I'm making room temperature Evan Williams and Diet Cokes, and I'm just slamming these things, trying to get as drunk as possible, as fast as possible, and it is working. But it's not a fun drunk. I become an angry drunk. Something flips in my brain, I become a madman. I'm standing in front of the mirror, looking at myself, and making fun of myself, laughing, crying, going through all these emotions. And that's when I decide I want to live out my dream of having my own fight club. I want to kick my own ass. So I was storing my whiskey in a hard plastic water bottle, the kind that you take camping. It's like really thick, and it was blue and said Eddie Bauer on it. I don't know where I got it. So I stand in the hallway, and I take a breath, and I take that water bottle, and I slam it into my left eye socket 3 times as hard as I can. And every time I do, I see a white flash of light. It stings like a motherfucker, and I'm screaming in agony, but I'm telling myself, I need to go through this. I need to feel this. I want to feel something other than the pain and depression I'm going through. But I also wanted immediate gratification. I wanted like a black eye. I look in the mirror and there's nothing there. Gotta do it again. So I take a deep breath, do it again, smash 3 times into my face. I look in the mirror, there's nothing there. I do this 6 more times. And after the 8th time, my face is now numb, I'm sweating, I have my shirt off, I'm walking back and forth in this attic like a caveman. And I decide to go outside to cool off and take a break. So I go outside on the back patio, I have a cigarette, and as I'm smoking, my phone rings. I pick up my phone, and guess who's calling? It's my wife. Now, I shouldn't have answered it, but I did. And she asked, hey, what are you doing? So I didn't want to tell her the truth because I didn't want her to think I was a psycho. So for some reason, I came up with this grand scheme that I had just come north of town at a pool hall, which is funny, I don't really play pool. And I ran into these 2 guys and convinced them to hit me in the face as hard as they could for $50. She bought it. She said, what the hell are you doing? This is the dumbest thing you've ever done. This is so unlike you. This is dangerous. And I said, babe, I'm doing it for you. I'm trying, can't you see how much I care about you? I'm trying to win you back. Well, the conversation runs dry. She hangs up on me. I'm now even more depressed, so I go back upstairs and I give myself one more beating. The next thing I remember is waking up to my alarm, because of course I remembered to set my alarm, but I'm not sleeping on the air mattress. I'm spread eagle on the ground. I still have my pants and my shoes on, and I sit up and I have the worst headache of my life, obviously because I just bashed my face in, but I'm also very hungover. And this is a Wednesday, meaning I have to go to work. So I get up and I go to the bathroom to get ready, and I look in the mirror forgetting that I'd hit myself in the face so many times, and my eye is now swollen shut, and it's all colors of the rainbow. And part of me is really proud because I had accomplished the task at hand, but another part of me is like, it's shamed and embarrassed, like, why the hell did I do this to myself? So now I'm like, oh, I gotta go to how am I gonna pull this off? I have to go to work. So I'm driving into work, trying to think of something. I get to the office, I sit down at my desk, and I still have my sunglasses on. And eventually people start asking questions, and I have to take my sunglasses off, and here's my big black eye. So they wanna know what happened. But I'm not gonna tell them the truth. I'm not gonna tell them the lie I told my wife. Instead, I come up with yet another lie and say, well, I'm house sitting. My buddy's doing construction. I got up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water. It was dark. I turned a corner and hit myself in the face with a 2x4 sticking out the wall. Well, they bought that as well. So now I have two lies going on. And I'm hoping that they don't intersect, because Nashville's kind of a small town. People kind of know your shit. So for the next 2 or 3 weeks, as my face is healing, I am paranoid that somehow someone's gonna find out that I'm lying to both parties, and I'm gonna have to tell the truth. And this all started because I decided to drink by myself in an attic while going through a divorce. Thank you.